Hey everyone, welcome to another amazing Lunch and Learn that we have on this beautiful Tuesday. I know I say this every time, but we really have an amazing treat for you today. So I'm super excited about today's guest. If you are watching this right now on the replay, make sure you type in replay in the comments so that we know that you are here. And as you are popping on, go ahead and drop your name, your business name, and your location down in the comments, because this is your time to network with the other businesses when we're first getting started with the Lunch and Learns. So make sure that you're dropping that down in the comments, and so that we can go ahead and support you later on. So today we have a topic that a lot of us in the group need, and we have the perfect guest to talk about this. We have I can't even introduce this person properly because she's just such a beautiful spirit. Aside from being a genius, a project management genius, she's just got such a great heart, and she is part of the foundation of this entire community. So we have Miss Ronnie Tyler, the first lady of TSP, on for the Lunch and Learn today. And let me just go ahead and introduce her really quickly. Ronnie Tyler, along with her husband, Lamar, is the co-founder of the site Black and Married with Kids, the largest independent African-American marriage and parenting website on the web. Fed up with the pervasive negative images of Black marriage in the media, Lamar and Ronnie started the site to combat the negativity by focusing on positive messages about marriage. And they've also taken Black and Married with Kids from a small personal blog to now an international brand underneath their own Tyler New Media umbrella, along with Traffic Sales and Profit. And the brand also boasts 7 independently produced best-selling films and a massive social media presence. On top of everything else, Lamar and Ronnie are the parents of 4 beautiful children, and they call Atlanta home. Thank you for joining us, Ronnie.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here today, so thank you.
Yes, absolutely. It's always a pleasure. I see you every day, but it's not very often that we get to kind of interact in these types of settings. So I'm super excited to have you on today.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the topic too, because we live.
I know you are. I know you are. Why are you so excited about it? Can you tell people a little bit?
I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just like a little planning nerd, right? Like, you know, people get excited about like, oh, I love math. I like numbers or whatever. Like, I like whatever. So I guess this is my area, you know, and Lamar is always so excited about like marketing or business or whatever. Then I have my little corner of things that I'm excited about too, you know, so.
Yes. And aside, so guys, what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about the top 3 reasons why your launches are failing. Right. And if there's one thing, if I could just insert something personally here, I did not know the importance of launching until I started working here with Tyler New Media and Traffic Sales and Profit. I didn't understand the importance of planning. And I was, like most people, in a mindset of, you know, you're just putting out a product as opposed to actually launching it and doing everything that you need to do to fully launch it. So I'm super excited about the topic as well. Let me hop into the comments. I just want to kind of see really quickly who is coming on. Guys, again, my name is Stephanie Rollins. I am the executive coach for the TSP Mastermind for 2 of the teams. We have another executive coach, but I am one of them. I'm super excited to be here on this Lunch and Learn today with Miss Ronnie Tyler, co-founder of Traffic Sales and Profit. If you guys are just hopping on, please make sure that you're commenting your name, your business name, and then also your location so that we can come and support you. So let me see who we have in here. We've got, my computer's acting a little slow. I see Kirsten's on. I see Gina's on. Hey, Tanika. Tanika said Ronnie's about to get us all the way together. I can't wait, Tanika. I see Nancy's on. Hey, Nancy. Thank you guys so much for joining. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and hop into a couple of our points. So first of all, Ronnie, like I just mentioned with my little personal story, a lot of business don't fully know the difference between launching and releasing something. So can you just kind of talk about that for a minute?
Right. So I just kind of, and I saw someone talking about this online recently, but when you release, you're just kind of like putting it out there. It's kind of falling flat. It's kind of like a moment where I feel like launching is an activity, right? It is an event. So your launch should feel like an event, and you should feel like tired after your event. If you're launching and you're off somewhere chilling, or you just launch for a week or whatever, you're not in the middle of a launch. You just released something that just kind of fell flat. And I feel like the reason why a lot of entrepreneurs are not getting the results that they want from their launches is because they're not putting enough effort into the planning. and to really mapping out everything that's going to happen during their launch. And then they get into their launch and it's kind of a little hectic, it's kind of frantic, and they have every intention on sending out, this many emails or doing this many social posts or, optimizing their ads, and they're not able to because they're in react mode. Versus if they were able to plan it, they would be in optimize mode. See, people are able to shift gears. They're able to add more to their launch. They're able to do more when they're able to plan ahead of time. And so, yeah, launching is so much better than just releasing.
Awesome, awesome. And guys, if you are currently not using any type of project plans, if you're currently releasing, I want you to type a 1 in the comments. Don't be embarrassed, but we do want to know, this is going to help you a lot, but we do want to make sure that we are holding you accountable because that's what the community does, right? So we want to make sure that we are doing that for you. And Ronnie, really quick, I want to talk about, because I know this is your thing, this is your area of expertise, and you have talked about this. I remember the very first game plan that I was working for Tyler New Media at. I see Tiffany Tere's typing a 1, Electra's typing a 1. Thank you guys for being honest. Nancy's typing a 1. But the very first game plan that I worked at, you got on stage and you talked for 2 hours about project management and planning, right? Just really quick. This isn't necessarily one of your points, but we're going to get into a launch plan in just a second, but can you just talk about just the importance of having a specific detailed plan?
Right. So really the first reason why planning is important is because it really takes out the anxiety, the stress. I think a lot of people just even get overwhelmed with having to launch, and they don't put as much effort into it because it's just daunting. It's overwhelming. It's such a big thing to do. So when you're able to launch and when you're able to plan ahead of time, you're really able to break down the task into smaller chunks and to do them ahead of time so that you don't feel so overwhelmed and so that you're really able to execute more. So planning allows you to execute more. It allows you to really break down a complex activity into smaller, more manageable chunks, and it just allows you to achieve more.
Awesome, awesome. And if you guys are just hopping on, or if you have questions, make sure that you're typing those in the comments so that I can ask those to Ronnie later on when we get to the Q&A portion. Again, if you're just hopping on today, we have our Lunch and Learn with Miss Ronnie Tyler, co-founder of Traffic Sales and Profit. And we're talking about the top 3 reasons why most launches fail, or what specifically why your launches are failing. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to this, you're taking notes. Go ahead and get your pen and paper out. Stephanie already said, I need to do better. It's okay, Stephanie. It's okay. Most of us do. That's why we're having this Lunch and Learn. So Ronnie, you just talked about the importance of having a plan, how it kind of takes a bigger project and breaks it down into more manageable chunks. So can you tell us some specifics about having a launch plan? Why is that so important? And then what are some things that you would also include in your launch plan?
Right, because there's so many different types of plans that you can have. Like some people are planning, but they're really focusing on just getting that product created. And so they may have a plan for that, but you really need to take a step back and plan like how you're going to launch it. And for the simple reason is that if you're able to really think about your launching, then maybe you're able to promote more. And if you're able to promote more, then you're able to get more eyes on your actual offer, your actual product, and then you're able to actually do what? Make more money. So proper launch, proper planning will allow you to have a more profitable launch. So that's number 1. If that's not the best reason, I can just stop right there, right? Because at the end of the day, everybody, they just want to make more money. They want to make more money in your launch. And so it stands to reason is if you're able to plan it out and you're able to plan for more marketing up front, more follow-up emails after you launch, then maybe you'll get more eyes on it and maybe you'll make more money. And that's where people are really falling short.
Awesome. I could definitely see that in a lot of businesses. And I'm pretty sure there are some people in the comments who would definitely agree with you because we've already kind of talked about that a little bit earlier. We got them to raise their hand and say they weren't properly using their plans. So again, good job for you guys being honest because we're here to hold you accountable and give you guys the nuggets that you need to grow your business. And speaking of that, in case y'all forgot, we have TSP Game Plan coming up in January. You do not want to miss this. We have people every single year who come to us after the tickets have sold out or after the event saying they wish they would have attended. So we're talking about your launches right now, but just in general, just planning things out for your business. The TSP Game Plan is where you come to plan out your entire year. It's a 2-day boot camp. If you've never been to one of our conferences before, this is a 2-day boot camp when you come and we help you get your entire business together. We're going to talk about some things that may be a little uncomfortable for you. We're going to talk about how you can start making more money in your business. We've got an amazing lineup of speakers. We've got Nicole Brown of Izzy and Liv. She spoke at TSP Live 2017, and you guys wanted her back, so we're bringing her back for TSP Game Plan. We have Dr. George Frazier coming through. We've got Marquel Russell, who's going to be talking about high ticket sales. They're going to be teaching you some amazing things that you do not want to miss. And again, like I said, after every event, we have somebody coming through saying, I wish I would have gotten in the room. All you need to do is get in the room, guys. So I'm going to put a link down to the TSP Game Plan so you can go ahead and get your tickets now. We're going to be hiking up the prices at the end of this month. So you want to make sure that you're getting your tickets now and you're not getting caught slipping, because somebody always does it at the end of every price hike. So go ahead and get it. The tickets are valued at over $1,000, but you definitely need to get it now where they're on sale. I'm going to drop the link below. And Ronnie, I would love for you to kind of go into some of the biggest mistakes that business owners make with their launches.
Okay, so some of the biggest mistakes that business owners make with their launches. I would say one of the biggest mistakes is first of all, just not planning in general. And we talked about that, right? We talked about the fact that if you're able to plan it out, that you're able to plan for more marketing, plan for getting more eyes on it. And that's what you want, right? If you back up a couple of months from your launch, you're really able to plan out that marketing, engage your Facebook ads guy, right? Mm-hmm. Or just strategize as to what you're going to do for Facebook ads when you're launching. When you're launching your launch date, that's not the day to decide to figure out Facebook ads, right? Right? Right. I'm gonna start these ads. I'm launching today. I'm gonna start these ads today. That's not your day to do that. If you're planning ahead of time, you can begin list building months ahead of time, because that's one of the biggest problems that people have is they don't even have a list to launch to. So if you're planning and you know you have a launch coming up in 3 months or 4 months, start your list building now. Absolutely. Start building buzz now. Start if it's a digital product or a service, you can start list building, lead magnets, things like that. But even if it's a physical product, coming soon. Hey, I'm building this behind the scenes. Here's screenshots. Hey, look, I got the cover or the labeling done. But there are some things that you can do as far as building lists, getting your audience excited months and months ahead of time, and not just thinking about, hey, the week that you're actually launching the product. Another thing is if you're launching ahead of time, get with your Facebook ads manager, your marketing manager, yourself, find somebody on Fiverr, find somebody on Upwork, but get that strategy in place, your marketing budget, YouTube, whatever in place, and think about those things ahead of time. Because again, the ultimate goal is to get more eyes on your product, and people don't even think about list building until the 2 weeks before their launch.
Right.
And so, yeah, plan it ahead of time. You should be list building all year round anyway. Don't wait until you have a launch. If you don't have a launch, you got something to do, start list building. So yeah, but that's the first thing, is just not planning at all. And then people just get overwhelmed. I don't know how to plan. Well, yeah, you don't, but you do one plan and maybe it's not the best. And then the next time you do it again, it's better. And then the next time you do it again, it's better and better. So I would say just make sure that you are planning and putting together your launch plans.
Awesome. And then, oh guys, just a reminder, make sure that you're putting your questions in the comments, because we're going to head to Q&A in just a few minutes. So I want to make sure that we're getting your questions answered. One of the things that we do here, I know one of the things that you've kind of talked about is repeating the same types of mistakes. Can you talk a little bit about how we try to avoid repeating the same types of mistakes here at Tyler New Media, through our meetings and our lessons learned and things like that?
Right. So, and I just kind of alluded to that before, you launch and then you optimize,
Mhm.
right? And then you launch again. And so one way to prevent repeating mistakes over and over and over again is that when you are done with your launch, don't just, you know, just say, whew, I'm done, but really take the time to analyze what you did. If you had a sales page, how many people got to the sales page? Was it optimized? Was it converting? If you had social posts, if you had Facebook Lives, what worked? What time of day worked? Whatever. So take some time to really analyze what worked. Take some time to pull together all of your graphics, to look at your plan. Within the first week or two after your launch, consolidate everything, put them in folders and things like that, because your next launch should get easier and easier. It should get more efficient. It should get better. And if all of your launches are you're getting the same results and you're just repeating the same thing over and over and over again, your last minute over and over and over again, that's just not making sense. And so my suggestion to you is just to make sure that you take a pause after your launch and just look at what you did so that you can optimize it and do it again better the next time. And then it'll get easier and easier and easier as you go along.
Absolutely. And I can definitely attest to that simply because, Ronnie, we've done two. Well, I would say, we did two big launches this year, right? One for BMWK and one for TSP. And once we did the launch for BMWK, we were like all on the struggle bus. Like we were tired.
We were in the bed crying, like afterwards.
We were, it was a struggle, y'all. Like, but
Yeah.
I will say, after we did all of the social media from scratch, after we did all of the planning from scratch, all of the calendars from scratch, everything, the next launch wasn't nearly as bad.
No, it wasn't. It was not. But the first cut is the deepest, right?
Yes.
The first one.
That was like a stab wound. Like,
so yeah. And then like
yeah.
even last week I was talking to, not last week, last month I was talking to Pastor D, right, of Dunamis Woman, and she did a launch and she did a challenge much like what we did for our launch earlier this year. And I said, how are you doing? And she said, I am exhausted. But she was smiling because it was a good exhaustion, right?
Yeah.
She followed the process, she did a plan, and it was exhausting. But she said, I'm looking forward to doing it again. And so
Right.
that was really, really encouraging. I'm not saying it's going to be easy and that planning is going to make it easy. What I'm saying is that it should get easier the more and the more that you do it.
Absolutely. And major shout out to Pastor D and Ariel of Dunamis Woman because they really did an amazing job with their launch. I was very impressed with everything that they had going on and they stuck to the plan, which is the most important thing. And that's another thing, guys, like when you are given a plan or you're given a blueprint, stick to the blueprint. Right. It's a blueprint for a reason, right?
Yeah, so it works.
Yeah, you don't want to do things that don't work, or this isn't your time to experiment and reinvent the wheel. This is your time to just follow the blueprint and see what works and then go from there. So, and that's exactly what they did. And they had a great turnout. So, all right, I'm just kind of looking and see who we have on here. Hey, Roslyn, I see you're on. Hey, Malika. Hey, Tiffany. I'm not sure if I shouted you out already. Hey, I think that's it. Oh, Angela. Hey, Angela, I see that you're on. So thank you guys again so much for joining us today. This has been great. Oh, Ronnie, one other thing I wanted to ask you about. Can you talk, hey, Kirsten, I see that you're on. Can you talk really quickly about, because we kind of went through your points, but one other thing is just the overall failure to follow up before, during, after lunch or your launch. Can you kind of talk about that?
Right. So I feel like that's definitely one of the top mistakes that people are making, and one of the reasons why maybe their launches are not as big of a success, because the money is in the follow-up. Right. And that's for anything that you're doing, whether it's product related, it's services, the money is in the follow-up. I know that when we have webinars, yes, we launch and we have sales that night, but we can double our sales just by sending enough follow-up emails. And so maybe our cart, whatever we're selling, our offer is available for 5 to 6 days. How many times are you going to follow up over the course of those days? Who are you going to follow up to? Are you going to follow up to the people that attended? Are you going to follow up to people that didn't attend? But there's some effort there that needs to happen. And if you are able to do that, you're going to make more money. And I think a lot of people, because they're well intentioned, they intend to follow up, but they don't really actually do that because why? They didn't plan. Maybe if they had written those follow up emails before launch week, they would send them out. I mean, you could send 8 to 10 emails out. Like if your offer is open, your cart is open for 4 to 5 days, that's representative of at least 6 to 10 emails that you could send. Depending on how big your list is and how much you email out, you could send an email a day, some days 2 emails, but you're not going to do that if you're actually trying to create those follow-up emails on the fly.
Right.
Maybe you'll get 60% of that done. Maybe you'll get 80% of that done. But if you're able to write those emails ahead of time, schedule them, or either at least write them so that you can send them out. No, I'm not saying that you might not want to edit them. You might want to go in and say, hey, things are going well. Check out this screenshot from somebody that purchased. Like, you can customize them that week. But overall, your launch emails, your follow-up emails, they should be in place. Another thing is, well, I'm not doing a webinar. I don't have a service. Well, yeah, even if you have a product, there's some follow-up that you can do. There's still follow-up emails to your audience all week. Maybe you're following up on abandoned carts. Whatever. Plan to be doing some follow-up and getting that money. If it's high ticket sales and people didn't buy that first night that you launched, why aren't you getting on the phone to everybody that attended? There is some follow-up activity for everybody that's listening tonight to do during your launch week before your offer closes. And if you're not planning that ahead of time, everybody has a lot of intentions to do them, but you just get exhausted. And if you're just reacting, you're just not going to do that. So I feel like failure to follow up, you're leaving a lot of money on the table.
Absolutely. And that's in general. You said it earlier, the fortune's in the follow-up, the money's in the follow-up. So you definitely have to do that. And not just in general, like that's a regular activity that you should have, like your follow-up email campaigns after your webinars or after a sale or whatever it is. So definitely. So I see a bunch of you are on. And I want to know how many of you are planning on launching something before the end of the year? If not before the end of the year, maybe at the beginning of next year. Type a 1 in the comments. I just want to see really quickly, because these are all things, everything that Ronnie just went over are all things that you guys can use to improve your launches and just make them better, right? And you have to start somewhere. Start with your one launch, utilize these tips so that you can have a better launch and then optimize from there, analyze and optimize. So I see Dr. Pam, Angela, I see Gina, Angela again, 2 Angelas. Teray. All right, so Patrick. So all of you guys are planning on launching. Tiffany, Yolanda's here. I see Pat's here. She plans on launching something. So you guys, all of these tips that Ronnie just gave are things that you can use to improve your launches. But if you have not gotten your ticket to the TSP game plan, you need to be in the room. Again, we're going to be helping you get your entire business together and you don't want to miss it. We have our events every 6 months and we just had TSP Live in June, but seriously, the events feel like a family reunion and 6 months is just too long of a time to wait. So just get in the room in January. We're going to help you get your business together. We're going to help you come up with a game plan for your business. Hey, LaShawn, thank you for joining us. And hey, Natalie, thank you for joining us as well. So make sure that you are getting your ticket as soon as possible. The prices are going up on November 1st, so you don't want to miss that deadline. Go ahead and get your ticket now. I will drop a link in the comments so you guys can get your tickets and you guys can join us at the TSP game plan and we can plan out your entire year with you. You're going to have support in the room. You're going to have friends and family in the room. So make sure you get in. Ronnie, while I'm dropping that link in the comments, can you go ahead and just give us like a quick recap of the top 3 mistakes that businesses make when they're trying to launch?
Right. So the first thing is not getting enough eyes on your offer. And that's just because you're not planning out your marketing and you're just not planning. So start your list building early. Just to give you an example, when we did our BMWK launch earlier this year, we knew it was for Christian couples. We started building our list for activating and reactivating and re-engaging and getting more people on that particular list well in advance, like the year before in 2018. And so we repurpose blog posts, anything to build up audiences in Facebook, anything to reinvigorate our current list. We were able to do that. And so if even if you have like Black Friday plans coming up, hey, you need to start getting your list excited now, reinvigorated. If you're not talking to them, start talking to them right now, and getting people used to getting emails in their inboxes. It's October now, and you have until the end of November. You don't have to talk about Black Friday now, but if you have a list and you're planning on selling to them in November, then start talking to them now. Because at the end of the day, you need to get more eyes on your offer. And that's the first thing we talked about. The second thing is just the failure to follow up and just making sure that you're making the most out of your launch. Your launch is an event. It's something that happens over a period of time. It's just not just one moment. And you should make sure that you have follow-up activities. And I'm talking whether you're doing a service, whether you have a product, whether it's low dollar, high dollar, there are some activities that you can do to make sure that you're getting that money. And at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're even following up to find out why people didn't buy, so that you can really do things differently than last time, which takes me to my last major point, and that was stop repeating the same mistake. Stop repeating the same launch mistakes. Optimize it. Take some time to take a break, to take a pause, to look at what you did so that you can document it, make it better, and launch again, right? Don't get defeated. And also, not all of our launches are successful, right? Right, Stephanie? We launch all year long, and we're not going to be like sit here and lie and say all of them are not successful. But we also look at our lessons learned, and we're like, we're not doing this next time.
Yeah.
If we were to like, we had an audience up until this point, and then it dropped down. So what was that? Oh, we know how to do it better the next time. And we do it every time. And so we look at our metrics, we look at our numbers, and then we're ready to just jump right back in there the next time. So I would say don't repeat, learn from your lessons, and just build a better and better launch plan each time. Your launch plan might have 5 tasks on it because you don't know what to plan. But next time it's going to have 10, and next time it'll have 15 until you really feel comfortable with your plan. So I'd say just get started.
Awesome. Excellent. So Natalie had one quick question. You talked briefly about it, but I just kind of wanted to go back to it so it could be a bit more explicit for those who are watching. Natalie said, what's a good way to start list building?
A good way to start list building is you could build a lead magnet. It depends on what your business is, but you definitely could build a lead magnet that you could start sharing in blog posts, lead magnet, going on live. If you have a community, talking talking more often in your community, being consistent with it. So if you're not doing it very often, maybe once or twice a week or more often than like that. And then also having those lead magnets in conjunction with talking in your community, because you still want those people on your list. And so one thing that we do all year round is we have lead magnets. We have a certain amount of marketing budget just to getting people onto our list. And so thinking about that, and just getting people excited about your product and your service. So building a community online, getting lead magnets, and ways for them to kind of opt into your list. Start now. If you already have a list, but you know your product, say for instance, if you were a beauty product and you have a list and your product was for dry hair or something like that, I would start kind of segmenting that list right now and getting people to identify themselves as people that had dry hair. Or if you're launching some lashes or whatever, start talking about lashes. Start talking about the fact that you're going to come out with the issues that you see with the current lashes. Start talking about that right now to your community, and why you want to come up with your own solution for that. And people are going to start getting excited about that. Maybe tips about so just start segmenting your audience, even with your lead magnets, if you know that it's a certain topic or certain product for that. So I hope that helps with some ideas for list building. But yes, you can have some ad dollars just going towards running people to articles, running people to your store if you have an opt-in, like 15% off or something on the page to get people to start opting in and buying certain products. But you definitely want to continue to build your list.
Awesome. Awesome. Natalie, I hope that was helpful for you and for the rest of you who had that same question. Unfortunately, it is time for us to wrap up. But Ronnie, thank you so much for coming on today and giving us your genius for the last 30 minutes. We truly appreciate it.
I enjoyed it. And guess what? I'm a speaker for Game Plan too. You didn't mention.
You are. I know I did it right. I'm sorry.
and we're going to go. I'm going to
save the best for last.
Yeah, so it won't be for 30 minutes, but it'll be for longer. And we're going to dig into how to have a more profitable launch, even at the Game Plan. So, yeah.
Wonderful. So all of these tips that you got today, you're going to get even more at the TSP Game Plan. And Ronnie's always cooking up some goodies. So who knows what goodies she's going to give you at the TSP Game Plan. Again, I've dropped that link for you guys down in the comments. The prices are going up on November 1st. So please, 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 I am begging you, get your ticket now. Don't get caught slipping. Get your ticket now before the prices go up. You don't want to pay any more than what you have to. So thank you guys so much for joining us for another great Lunch and Learn, and we will see you next Tuesday.